Today, January 5th, 2026, marks a pivotal moment in international politics as former Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro makes his historic first appearance in a U.S. federal courtroom in Manhattan, facing charges that could seal his fate for life. Captured in a bold U.S. military operation just 2 days ago, Maduro's arraignment before Judge Alvin K. Hellerstein at noon Eastern Time is shrouded in drama, with viral images of him in handcuffs and blindfolds captivating global audiences. This isn't just a legal proceeding, it's the culmination of years of U.S. pursuit, alleging Maduro turned Venezuela into a narco-state. Let's delve deep into every facet of this unfolding saga, from the daring raid to the courtroom tensions, global fallout, and what it means for the world. The story began on January 3rd, 2026, with Operation Absolute Resolve, a lightning U.S. strike involving airstrikes on Venezuelan military sites and a swift raid on Maduro's fortified Caracas residence. Backed by CIA intelligence from an inside source, elite special forces breached the compound at 2 a.m. local time. Astonishingly, Maduro and his wife Cilia Flores surrendered without resistance, avoiding direct gunfire. Within minutes, they were blindfolded, equipped with noise-cancelling headphones for operational security, and airlifted to helicopters. President Trump shared jaw-dropping photos on Truth Social, showing Maduro in a grey Nike tracksuit, handcuffed aboard the USS Iwo Jima in the Caribbean Sea, his face a mix of defiance and defeat. The couple was then flown to Stewart Air National Guard Base in New York late that night. Shocking perp-walk footage captured Maduro stepping off the plane in handcuffs, flashing a wry smile and greeting stunned DEA agents with Happy New Year in broken English during processing at their headquarters. Cilia Flores was beside him, her images partially blurred for security, but confirmed as captured and charged. Currently, both are detained at Brooklyn's notorious Metropolitan Detention Center, a facility infamous for housing high-profile inmates like mob bosses and terrorists, awaiting this crucial hearing. Fast forward to now. Under intense security, Maduro and Flores are transported to the Daniel Patrick Moynihan United States Courthouse in Lower Manhattan. The arraignment, presided over by 92-year-old veteran Judge Hellerstein, appointed by President Clinton in 1998, represents an unprecedented event. A sitting head of state, albeit deposed, shackled in a U.S. court. Experts predict not guilty pleas from both, with the judge likely denying bail due to flight risk and charge severity, remanding them to custody. Cameras are banned inside, but the exterior buzzes with media, protesters, and heavy security, promising chaotic scenes. The charges are explosive, stemming from a superseding indictment unsealed over the weekend, building on 2020 accusations from Trump's first term. Prosecutors depict Maduro as the mastermind of the Cartel de los Soles, a vast narco-terror network operated from Venezuela's government apex for over 25 years. The lead count is narco-terrorism conspiracy, claiming he collaborated with FARC guerrillas, U.S.-designated terrorists, to inundate America with thousands of tons of cocaine, supplying them with military weapons and destructive devices. Additional counts include cocaine importation conspiracy, machine gun possession, and more. Cilia Flores, dubbed Venezuela's first combatant, faces cocaine conspiracy charges linked to the same operation. Conviction on the gravest charges could mean life imprisonment without parole. The $50 million bounty on Maduro's head is now moot following his direct capture. Reactions worldwide are erupting. Trump boldly proclaimed the U.S. is running Venezuela, pledging to repair its devastated oil infrastructure and sell reserves to allies, potentially stabilizing global energy markets amid volatility. In Miami's Little Caracas, Venezuelan exiles dance in the streets, celebrating the downfall of a regime that forced millions into exile amid economic collapse and human rights abuses. Yet in Latin America, rage simmers, protests in Caracas demand Maduro's release, with leaders branding it imperialist aggression. Venezuela's Supreme Court swiftly appointed Vice President Delcy Rodríguez as acting president, blending defiance with calls for dialogue while condemning the raid. Internationally, Russia and China denounce it as unlawful, risking escalated tensions, while Trump allies like Argentina's Javier Milei praise it as a freedom victory. Parallels to the 1989 US invasion of Panama and Manuel Noriega's capture, who was tried in the same courthouse for drug crimes, are inescapable. Legal battles ahead are formidable. Maduro's defense will argue head of state immunity and contest the raid's international legality, citing UN Charter violations against sovereignty. However, US precedents like Noriega and the Ker-Frisbie doctrine, allowing prosecution despite irregular capture, suggest the trial will advance. This case could drag on for years, probing American power limits and setting risky precedents for global interventions. Broader implications are profound. Oil markets fluctuate with Venezuelan export disruptions, potentially hiking global gas prices. Geopolitical strains intensify, with Trump warning Colombia and others. The UN Security Council convenes an emergency session on aggression. The Venezuelan diaspora splits between jubilation and chaos fears. Venezuela's economy, already in ruins with hyperinflation and shortages, may collapse further without Maduro, paving the way for new elections or foreign meddling. Experts warn of regional conflict escalation, possibly involving Russian or Chinese support for Rodríguez. The immunity question is central. The US hasn't recognized Maduro as legitimate since 2019, backing Juan Guaido, but international law shields de facto leaders. The Ker-Frisbie doctrine lets courts overlook capture breaches if trials are fair. Parallels to Trump versus United States on official acts add intrigue. One thing is clear: the world's gaze is fixed on that Manhattan courtroom today. Will Maduro remain stoic and defiant, strike a deal, or ignite fresh drama? What do you foresee? Justice prevailing or a global crisis brewing? Share your thoughts in the comments. Like if this shocks you, subscribe for ongoing updates on this landmark trial, and enable notifications, because this story is just beginning. Stay tuned.